Orcas have the second largest brain in the animal kingdom, only behind sperm whales. They weigh in around 5.4 kilograms to 6.8 kilograms, which is about 5 times heavier than a human's brain. However, there is one thing scientists know for sure, which is a larger brain does not equal greater intelligence. What does, however, is a larger brain size in comparison to the body. To measure this, scientists use encephalization quotient, or EQ. And in that aspect, orcas come in third place behind dolphins and humans. But what's even more impressive about the brain of an orca is the high levels of gyrification, which essentially means how wrinkled the cerebral cortex is. The more gyrification, the higher the total amount of data it can handle and the speed at which it's processed.
Right, shalom, yabashima, shabashima, kwakodasha, barakata. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honors you brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above our body are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh, Bashima, Shabashim, Kohakodash. Giving our praise unto Yahweh, Shabashim, Kohakodash. So it's going to be a relatively quick video. And yeah, man, the Most High is way out there. Okay, the Heavenly Father is way out there. And I'm going to show you something here. And this is kind of like a nerd out moment. Given the sort of position I found myself in, the Most High put me in. You know, I've got a little bit of a background in I don't want to say tech. I want to say a little bit of a humble background in engineering. Okay, so when you kind of go through engineering and you go through engineering school, you kind of learn certain things and you bump shoulders with particular people that are on a much higher level than I could ever imagine to be. But certainly you hear the conversations that they have and you investigate little bits and pieces that they speak about and talk about. So I wanted to speak about this particular phenomenon here that we just seen off of the excerpt that we just seen. And I'll show you how it relates to engineering, right? I'll show you how it relates to engineering, of which Esau, what he's trying to do is trying to set up some artificial intelligence, right? He's trying to set up artificial intelligence. But the Most High's already got the intelligence out there. Okay, you got the little Intel chip, right? You get your little laptop, he's got the Intel chip, he's got the i5, the i3, right? I wouldn't get an i3, right? If you brothers are looking for a computer, I'll get an i5, about 16 gigs of RAM with a nice solid state hard drive in there, and you're gonna be good. Okay, at least i5. Okay, but let's say you got a little i5, i7 chip, right? Esau's just replicating what's already out there within nature. The same thing with the planes. Esau copied nature and he came up with the planes, and people marveled at that. It's all of this, man. It's all the Most High's work. Okay, the only thing that Esau's been given is the ability to understand these particular things, but he's got like a bastardized version of this. Okay, he's got like a derivative version of intelligence. This guy wants to have robots out there. It's like, bro, in the kingdom we don't need robots. We got humans. We got sentient beings that's going to achieve the particular goals that we need them to achieve. We don't need to, what do I need to create a robot for? The Most High has already created robots for us to enjoy. The Most High has already created robots for them to go out there and press up the wine and make the juiciest berries, which right now I've got a jammy red brew. Okay. Got a jammy red brew right now. Drinking a nice drink right now. It's a beautiful drink. Right? But the Most High's got the heathen out there for us to, we don't need no robots out there within the kingdom, man. We can just breed up the heathen and make them do what we need them to do. Okay? So let's get back into the topic. And I find myself rambling sometimes, but such is life, right? Let's get back into the topic. So what we just watched within the video is a little excerpt from the orcas. It's funny how you watch a video and you're just watching it for entertainment's sake. And then it goes to another video, and all of a sudden you got a point that you can make within this truth. Right. Gyrification. This is within the brain. It's in all brains. And it's the folding or the layering of brain cells. Okay. We're going to read this excerpt and then we're going to go into the engineering side. And I'm going to show you a little phenomenon here where Esau basically does the same thing with these CPUs, these central processing units, okay? Which your brain is just another central processing unit, of which excuse me, when you I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm going full nerd out moment right here, right? So let's say you get a little Intel chip, right? Basic little laptop, right? I don't know, $500, £500, whatever, i5, whatever. You got what's known as onboard graphics processing, onboard processing, whatever, right? So this computer is like a derivative of the brain, right? It's just a logic machine, right? You got the graphics bit that's gonna interpret visual data, right? You got the bit of it that's gonna do mathematical data. That's what the Mosai did, right? That's what the Mosai did. And when you think about how Esau is really trying to replicate what the Mosai did, you really see that the Mosai is great in power and majesty. Okay? Gyrification is the process of forming characteristic folds on the cerebral cortex. The peak of folds is called a gyrus, and its trough is called a cilius. The neurons of the cerebral cortex resides in the thin layer of the gray matter. Okay? So these folds, when you've just seen the video, you can see as the brain gets more mature, it gets more folds, right? Meaning to say it carries more data. We just seen that within the video. It carries more data, right? More processing power. You see 25 weeks, no folds. 30 weeks, a little bit more folds. 33 weeks, the folds get more, right? Full adults, all types of folds, right? And we just seen that they was comparing the brain of an orca to a human brain, and it was comparing the size of it, and they said, well, yeah, the size, like you get a 13 millimeter chip, 13 millimeter. Like I said, I'm going full out nerd mode right now, right? You get, I believe you can get a 13 millimeter chip. You can get a 9 millimeter chip, right? When you go into the CPUs and all of that, right? You can get all kinds of different sizes of chips, right? But check this out, right? So let's say you've got a finite amount of space. How do you make use of all of that space? You start to layer up. And this is what the Mosai did with the human brain. He layers it up. That's why you see the folds get more layered as the brain gets older and it's got more information, more processing power. Okay, it's got more processing power, more memory, more, you're sharper. Especially when you're in your 30s and that, man, you're sharp, you're quick. Obviously, when you get to your 70s and that, because of the way the Mosai set the algorithm up, you're going to get weaker, right? But the same thing with a CPU. Okay, what would you do if you had a finite amount of space and you had to process faster? You have to do more. You have to process faster. Yeah, let's just say that you have to process faster. Let's just say process faster, right? You would hyper-thread, multi-thread. Okay, and we're just going to use the hyper-thread as the example here. Hyper-threading. Hyper-threading, or HT technology, abbreviated HTTT, is Intel's proprietary simultaneous multi-threading implementation used to improve parallelized computation, which is basically the same thing we just seen in the folds. Okay, right? Performed as times 86 microprocessors. Is introduced in the Xeon server processors. Okay, so I mean, I hope I'm not like I said, you bump shoulders with particular people. But I hope I'm equating like terms to like terms. Each processor cores that is physically present, the operating system addresses two virtual logical cores and shares the workload between them when possible. The main function of hyperthreading is to decrease the amount of independent instructions in the pipeline. So when you're thinking about singular thoughts and multiple different things that's happening within your brain, it's likened onto this hyperthreading thing, which you just seen the brain. The Mosai has already created hyperthreading within the brain, man. It's called gyrification, man. So the Mosai is way out there. The Heavenly Father's way out there. So again, like I said, look, I'm not an expert on CPUs or whatever. So I hope I compared like terms to like terms. But to me, that's just crazy, right? That's just crazy, right? You want to increase the surface area within a confined space. You have to start layering up, right? You look at a heat exchanger. When you look at a heat exchanger, it's got multiple different little thin fins to increase the surface area. The same thing with the brain. You want multiple streams of information going in and out. You increase the surface area, which is this particular process that we got here. So the Mosai is way out there, man. The Mosai is way out there, man. That, to me, that was kind of miraculous. But I'm going to say, praise unto you, about you, myself, about you, Makwako. That's the bonus unto the apostles of great millstone. I want you both to be pushing the truth in sincerity. Shalom.